Hello and welcome to Fresh Pace One Shots. My name is Joey,
And I'm Jacob.
and welcome back to we're at the halfway point of our coverage of the DC Summer Event of 2023, Night Terrors. This is Night Terrors number 2, continuing the main series of 4 issues in between our 2 one shots, opening and closing the run. We're continuing on from last time when we resurrected one Wesley Dodds, and we see where that goes. I like the fact. I find it really misleading, but I do like the fact that they keep separating Deadman and Batman on the covers of these. And it's like,
I mean, look.
how else
I
are you
know
going
what
to sell
Williamson is. Yeah, because I will say, Joshua Williamson is really, really smart in right. I'm going to put the focus on lesser known DC characters.
I mean, Batman's barely in this event, but he's still treating Batman as a headliner.
I mean, he's on the page. You see him on the page.
He's there. He's physically on the page. Yeah, but
He's
no,
right
this
there.
is Boston Brand's story, and I'm so happy about that. We open on another one of those sort of just Deadman monologues to open up the issue, which I think is really fun.
This is
Dead Air with Boston Brand.
This is Joshua Williamson tributing Johnny Carson.
He has so much fun with it. It's wonderful. I was like, fresh from the Golden Age, he loves a good mystery, Sandman, and we get our Wesley Dodds appearance here. Again, I just love the way that we do dead Wesley Dodds. He just looks awesome.
Yeah. He is a zombie. Also, I believe Williamson is actually smart in doing this because they just, I think, started reprinting the 90s revival of Wesley Dodds. Sandman Mystery
and
Theater.
Also, with the whole Jeff Johns New Golden Age JSA stuff coming out, they're doing a couple series for specific Golden Age heroes like Alan Scott and Wesley Dodds, which really, really cool. So yeah, just, I don't know, nice to give him some coverage here and have him be like a headliner here as one of the characters headlining this event. So
also, what's interesting is a lot of this issue is a decent chunk of talking.
We get a lot of flashbacks, actually.
I will say the flashbacks are the best bit.
Because right away, I mean, first off, Wesley Dodds is kind of pissed. But we get into our flashbacks here and see where, because we know where at least Insomnia sort of came from up to this point. And now we find out where the Nightmare Stone came from, and we flash back to this ritual where Wesley Dodds interfered. He stopped this guy from being sacrificed, and it led to
it turns out that this guy wasn't the victim; he was the leader.
Who's being possessed by Insomnia here, I
think either is possessed by Insomnia or is Insomnia. We aren't.
Is it implied that this is the guy that specifically is Insomnia, or is the idea with him being the god of nightmares that he takes on specific hosts? So I don't think
that's possible. We don't have a distinct answer. I hope we get some answers.
See, I'm not sure if I want specific answers. I kind of like the idea of just not quite knowing where he comes from. It's really cool. Personally, but so he kills himself. It leads to the creation of the Nightmare Stone. Really
the stone isn't enough to become real because just a couple of cult guys. That's not enough to manifest a world altering stone, which is fascinating. I also have to say I love the interplay between Deadman and Wesley Dodds.
I like that after this, Deadman's like, guess I'm gonna put you back in the ground now, and Wesley's like, wait, no, that case haunted me. He feels like he needs to see this through to the end. So Dodds forces himself back into the mystery and goes along with Deadman, which is really cool. We then actually catch up with where Insomnia is at right now. As Insomnia, we last saw, retreated back into his realm of nightmares, and he is now hunting the dreams of John Dee, which I find really, really interesting.
Of John Dee, who sees himself as a young cult leader. And Insomnia appears, in a mask, and it's very, very creepy. He forces a bag of gold down his throat. And Dee explodes in the dream. And Insomnia's like, well, still have to find Deadman, but this time I'm sending my sleepless nights. Which I'm guessing that's how Williamson's going to justify this event being called Night Terrors with a KN.
Yeah. And then we head over to Terrific Tech, where the whole thing is that anyone that is physically alive and breathing fell asleep, but people like Red Tornado and other such robots did not fall asleep, so they're kind of the only ones defending the world right now. Do you know anything about Red Tornado? Actually, I'm not sure.
I know that he's a robot, and I think he's shown up in a couple of things in the background.
Yeah,
I want to say he showed up in
read?
that we've read. I want to say he showed up in like Trinity War.
Oh, no, did he?
He might have.
No, maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I know I've seen his design in something we've read, but I can't place it.
Huh. Anyway, Deadman and Wesley Dodds go to Red Tornado, who recruits them to the cause because other such heroes are passed out. We see where Mr. Terrific is at. Actually, I don't know. Do you know Mr. Terrific at all? I'm not sure.
I only know that he's going to be a character in the new DC Universe films.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, he's going to be in Superman Legacy, which is cool.
Yes, which is just going to be interesting. But he is asleep. He is having nightmares. We get a flash of his nightmare for one panel, and I like when Williamson does this, even if it's just for like a panel, to see something utterly horrific.
Yeah.
Especially if it's done with like characters who may not be getting their full 2-issue miniseries tie-in.
Yeah. Terrific, as far as I know, hasn't really shown up in any of the tie-ins up to this point. So, yeah, nice to see him here. We then go into the...
So, it seems that Deadman still has a connection to Insomnia.
Yes.
And is going into his nightmares. And we get an extended flashback to Arkham Tower, where we see Insomnia as, a sort of almost like a victim, if we're going to make Sandman reference, of the sleepy sickness.
Yep.
Sleeping through the entire day, having one day where he's awakened and he's groggily awake. He hears on the news that the Justice League has died. The orderlies have paired him with Dr. Destiny in an attempt to maybe make him have any sort of activity. But then he turns out that, they're dead, but the Justice League have returned alive and well. Because, this is comics, and deaths mean nothing.
Because Dark Crisis happened, yeah. Anyway.
And this sends Insomnia into a rage.
Yes, he goes insane, he attacks the orderlies, and he's subdued eventually, and
he's kind of justified in his rage, though, because he's like, why are they allowed to return from the dead and we have to die? It's like, yeah, you're slowly becoming self-aware that you're in a comic book and you're not an important enough character to return from the dead.
True. But yeah, this Deadman is then forced out of this flashback, this dream, this nightmare, if you will, and is brought back to Terrific Tech, where we find out that the Sleepless Knights are on their way.
They are not on their way, they are here, as the colors go to this stark red and black, where you see these outlines of the Sleepless Knights, like, you can see them, but you can't really, see them very well.
Yeah.
And our big cliffhanger ending of the issue is Red Tornado has had his head ripped off, and one of the Sleepless Knights is speaking through them.
Oh, God. I love it. So good. Oh, I love this
event
so much.
To be continued in 2 weeks at the death of Deadman.
Oh, man. I love this event so much. It's doing so many cool things and just so many... Some of them, admittedly, are cheap tricks, just to make you go, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? But they work so well. It's tapping into this really pulpy sort of horror side of comics that you just don't see often nowadays.
I think it works because Joshua Williamson knows what he's doing. He knows what story he wants to tell. So he's telling it. Is it perfectly suited to be the summer event? Maybe not. Does it have to be is it really a big DC Universe event? Honestly, probably not. But like,
See, it's
no
it's
one's
interesting. San Diego Comic Con was just last week, and or this past weekend, I should say, and they did a panel where they talked about Night Terrors, and Williamson said like doing the event was sort of a DC mandate, and he was like, well, okay, we got to come up with something. Let's not end the universe. Let's do something like actually kind of unique, and yeah, I say this is unique for like a big summer DC event. Like it's very much its own thing, and I really dig that about it. I think that's what makes it really special compared to other big things like like Lazarus Planet and Dark Crisis recently.
Yeah, I mean, what's especially nice is that we're following a minor character who is our main character, and with that as the focus, we get to actually, go in nicely to a very personal event, not having the end of the world. I mean, the stakes are high, but the end of the world stakes, like, really means that Williamson can be creative with it, and he doesn't have to try to be like, I'm trying to do another Crisis.
Yeah.
A year after we just did a Crisis.
Yeah. After the supposed last Crisis.
Okay, that's been like the 5th last Crisis.
Don't worry about it, Jacob. Just let it be. Anyway, I guess that about is it. Be sure to check out our other Fresh Face one shots. We had Brave the Bold just have its still regular issue release, despite the fact that Night Terrace is going on right now. That should be coming out, I believe, tomorrow when this comes out. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get it all out. We'll see. But yeah, otherwise, check out the rest of our Night Terrors one-shots coverage if you haven't checked those out already. Our super.
I know Night Terrors will be back in 2 weeks, actually.
Yes, we actually get a week off of doing these videos, which is kind of nice. Yeah,
it's welcome. It's welcome at this point because
it is.
We've been going all month of July.
It'll slow down soon enough. We're halfway through. So
we are halfway through.
I guess that about does it. I'll leave socials and everything, link trees down in the description below. Be sure to check us out there. Follow us wherever you want to. And I guess that
watch the podcast if you like the dreams. We will just be releasing our episode on the Sandman Preludes and Nocturnes.
Yes.
On the Monday after this comes out.
Yes, that'll be, I don't know the exact date. What is that?
The 31st.
The 31st, yes. The last day of July will be our release of the Sandman Preludes and Nocturnes for Fresh Face Comics, the main podcast. So be sure to check that out.
It's a longer one because we had some guests, which was fun.
We have 2 guests on that, which is very cool. So, yeah, I guess that about does it now.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
And Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.